let's talk about the energetics of self-heal and kind of energetics as a whole concept within the world of herbalism. So I think of it in three different layers. Like each of us have a constitution that's either wet or dry, cool or hot. We'll start with those two. So we all have these particular characteristics, right, that we kind of carry. Sometimes it's identified as our doshas. If you're thinking about Ayurvedic medicine, is one way that it gets classified, and there's many, many others. And then you have your ailment and the symptoms of that ailment. So you might have a cough, and your cough could be dry, or your cough could be wet and hacking, right? So there's you and your characteristics, the symptoms of your ailment, and then the plant that comes in to match up to those characteristics. So self-heal is cooling and moistening. So you would, if you had a dry cough, that's when you would reach for self-heal. And you probably or maybe have seen, right, many different plants that you can use for respiratory health. And you maybe have even tried some of them and then maybe they didn't work, right? And so it's this herbal energetics that's going to help you narrow down and pinpoint the herb that will really help you with that particular ailment. I hope that makes sense. This is just like a super high level introduction to this concept, but it might help you. It helps you when you're trying to learn about the plants, right? So if you know that self-heal is cooling and moistening, you might forget all of the other things and the specifics that it can help you with. But knowing those two things and knowing that it's a respiratory health plant, you can kind of like go from there. It just helps with really developing that relationship and getting to know the plant, as well as making more informed decisions about how and when to work with a specific plant or not. And when I learned about this, I was blown away, right? It's a little bit overwhelming because there's a lot of different things to think about, but on the big picture, it does really help make things more effective when you're treating something with the plants. It helps kind of zone it in and make it, because when I first started, I was like, why does this work? All of these plants do the same thing. I don't get it. Like, cool, but like, what? And so learning about the energetics and these different characteristics really helped me with my understanding and just kind of going deeper into that world. So cooling, moistening little friend that helps with respiratory support, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. There's so many things. It's called self-heal, but it's also called heal all. So you really can't go wrong with self-heal, and it's very gentle and safe. It's edible. You can eat it raw, you can eat it cooked. It doesn't have a lot of flavor or taste, but it does have vitamins A, B, C, and K, and loaded with antioxidants and different minerals depending on how you work with it and prepare it. So it's a really good herb to start with, right? If you're just kind of starting to dabble into the world of herbalism, because it is very safe and the contraindications are very limited. You just wouldn't want to use it if you already had a really wet constitution and digestion. But it's very safe to work with, and a nice plant who wants you to look around you and see the weeds that can really help you with so many different things. I would love to know if you find self-heal out and about in the wild.